Tesla has just announced two new Model Ys, but one of them is clearly the better choice. We find out Q3 delivery numbers, and we also get a new update that makes your Tesla much safer. First up today, Tesla has released its Q3 delivery numbers, and it shows that they've produced 13,688 Model S and X's and delivered 15,985 of them. For Model 3 and Model Y, Tesla has produced 416,800 cars and delivered 419,074 of them. Total production was 430,488 cars and 435,059 delivered. When you compare it to quarter 2 of 2023, this is a decline. In quarter 2 of 2023, we saw 19,489 Model S and X produced, with 19,225 being delivered, and 460,211 Model 3 and Model Y produced, with 446,915 being delivered. Now, this decline was discussed during the Q2 earnings call, where Tesla said they're going to be shutting down a few of their factories due to planned upgrades. Now, these upgrades were likely for the Model 3 Project Highland refresh, as well as for optimizations and to improve their assembly process. And Tesla says that they're still planning to deliver 1.8 million vehicles throughout 2023. Next up, Tesla has made their cars even safer via a software upgrade. Tesla's North American X account said, if an airbag is deployed, hazard lights will automatically activate and flash faster to improve visibility. Update now rolling out to all US Model 3 and Model Y, as well as S and X 2020 and newer. And then we get to see a video of this update in action where we see the hazard lights flashing rapidly. I personally think that this is an update that makes Teslas even safer, and it's a really easy and simple thing for them to do. I personally have been in a minor fender bender where I got rear-ended late at night, and unfortunately when you're in an accident, you're really not thinking straight. I remember being in a state of shock when it happened, so anything Tesla can do to make people's lives easier is really welcome. And this is another way that Tesla is able to separate themselves from other car manufacturers, because what other manufacturer would be able to roll out an update like this, especially so quickly, and be able to roll it out to all their vehicles? Next up, Tesla has just added a new Model Y to its website. It is a standard range, rear-wheel drive only Model Y that starts at $43,990. Of course, that price is before any federal and local rebates, so you likely will be able to get that price down a little bit more. This new standard range Model Y is now the cheapest version of the Model Y offered by Tesla, and it replaces the outgoing all-wheel drive version that was previously produced at Gigafactory in Austin. That Gigafactory Austin produced Model Y was an all-wheel drive version that featured 4680 cells, which is not found in this new rear-wheel drive Model Y. Now, that previously discontinued 4680 Model Y was likely discontinued because Tesla now needs that 4680 cell production for the Cybertruck that's about to be released. Moving back to the standard range rear-wheel drive Model Y, we're likely seeing this lower price point because it has one fewer motor than that was previously offered by the all-wheel drive version that was produced out of Giga Austin, Texas. This new standard range Model Y has 260 miles of range, and that's likely due to its use of LFP batteries, which is also known as lithium iron phosphate batteries. So LFP batteries have a lower energy density, which simply put means that it gives you less range per cell. The one upside to LFP batteries though is that they're able to be charged to 100% every single night. So that means that this new standard range Model Y with its 260 miles of range can actually be charged up to 100%, giving you 260 miles of range every single day. So even though this 260 miles of range is actually less than the 279 that was offered previously in the all-wheel drive version, you're actually getting more daily usable range because you're able to charge up to 100% versus the 80% that's recommended. So just for some quick math, the all-wheel drive version that was produced out of Giga Austin actually has a usable daily range of 223 miles versus the 260 miles of this LFP produced Model Y. Moving on, this new standard range Model Y has a 0 to 60 time of 6.6 seconds, which is not fast, but it's also not too slow either. When you compare it to something like a Toyota Prius, which has a 0 to 60 time of 7.2 seconds, the 6.6 on this Model Y doesn't seem that bad. One more limitation of this new LFP battery pack is that you're only able to supercharge at 170 kilowatts versus the 250 that you would get on a longer range Model Y or Model 3 or Model S and X. I personally don't think this is a huge drawback because 170 kilowatts is still really fast, and you're only really hitting that peak 250 for a small period of time. This new standard range Model Y cannot be configured with the 7-row seat layout, so if you're looking for that, unfortunately you're gonna have to step up to the longer range models. Overall, I think this is a very interesting move by Tesla. I think it helps them get into a lower price point, and while it's $6,500 less than the long range version of the Model Y, you are getting 70 less miles. Personally, I think having a bigger battery pack is always king, but $6,500 is a good amount of money. So if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of range, I think this car is actually a really good choice. So with the new starting price of $43,990 with the $7,500 federal tax rebate, you're looking at $36,490, and that could actually be less if you have local incentives as well. Tesla has updated the Model Y that's currently being produced out of Giga Shanghai, and unfortunately it makes our US built Model Ys look kind of bad. That's because they've updated the Model Y Y out of Giga Shanghai to include a new LED light strip, a new dash, new wheels, as well as increase the speed of the standard range variant. All right, so let's start off with the interior of this new refreshed Model Y that's coming out of Giga Shanghai. We have a new LED light strip that goes across the dash that's similar to that of the Project Highland Model 3, but it doesn't wrap around to the doors. This new LED light strip is going to be able to be customized via the screen, which is really cool. And we're also getting a new dash for this refreshed Model Y. It's going to be featuring a new textile material, which is going to be replacing the wood that is standard on the Model Y. Personally, I like the look of the wood, but I'm curious to see what this new textile is going to look like in person. According to Inside EVs, this new refreshed Model Y is going to have hardware 4. Previously, Model Ys built out of Giga Shanghai were using hardware 3, so this update to hardware 4 is likely a huge upgrade. With hardware 4, we're getting higher resolution, color accurate cameras, which is great for the car all around. This means when you're backing up and using the cameras or using dash cam or sentry mode, the cameras are going to be better quality for that. It also means Tesla is going to have higher quality images to train its neural nets and also to improve full self-driving. On the outside of this new refreshed Model Y, we're also getting black Gemini wheels as opposed to the silver that were previously offered. I personally think the black looks great because I thought the silver looked kind of cheap and plasticky. Not that this new black one won't also be plastic, but I think it looks a lot better being black. And finally, the last big change to this Model Y is that the standard range version is gaining a full second off its 0 to 60 time. It's going from 6.9 seconds down to 5.9 seconds, which is a big upgrade. Pricing has not changed on these Model Ys built out of Giga Shanghai, so you're looking at a starting price of $36,788 for the standard range version, $41,806 for the all-wheel drive, and $48,776 for the performance version. As far as delivery time, you're looking at 2 to 6 weeks for the rear-wheel drive and performance version, and 6 to 8 weeks for the long-range all-wheel drive version. For me personally, I think it's a little unfair that Giga Shanghai is getting all these awesome upgrades to their Model Y, but that's because China is a huge market for Tesla, and so they have to constantly be innovating, because if not, they're going to get overtaken by other manufacturers that build cars exclusively for China. I also think that the refreshed Project Highland Model 3 being produced out of Giga Shanghai is also forcing some of these upgrades to Model Y. Of course, these upgrades to the Model Y are just a small step in the right direction. We're expecting a big refresh to the Model Y coming in 2024. That's codenamed Project Juniper, and we're expecting to see a lot of the upgrades that were brought to the Model 3 to be brought over to the Model Y. I hope to see in this new 2024 Model Y an updated exterior, new cooled and ventilated seats, a rear screen for the rear passengers, as well as a full wraparound LED light strip like we see in the Model 3. If you're interested in the new Model Y or any Tesla in fact, please feel free to use my referral code in the description down below. That'll get you $500 off and 3 months of full self-driving. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you're interested in seeing how fast a Model Y is compared to a Model 3, check out this video right here. Or if you want to see my Tesla Model 3 performance versus a Model S Plaid, check out this video over here.